Years ago, such powerful rings were found on Earth, by using which any big enemy could be defeated. But what if a very big monster who was in prison for years gets freed by using those powerful rings and starts attacking everyone? The villagers there stop him, and a very big dragon helps them. But now it has to be seen whether all of them together will be able to defeat the master who had become very powerful by absorbing the souls of people. This story is going to be very adventurous, so let's go to the world of adventure. Thousands of years ago, such rings were found on Earth, and whoever wore them got different types of powers. Now these rings were with a man named Devi, and he had learned to use the power of the rings very well. But it is said that the one who has a lot of powers also gets arrogance. So the same thing happened with Rango. He wanted to become the king of that place by defeating everyone, so he used his power and killed everyone. No one was able to stand in front of him, and he killed everyone one by one. By doing this, he had captured all the kingdoms and had prepared a system in which he used to train everyone in martial arts. If he had to kill someone, he used to send his army men. But after many years, Viangan lost interest in all these fights. Now Viangan was interested in magical powers, and he started reading a lot of mythology, in which he came to know about a magical place named Talo, where different types of magical animals were found. All those places were created by witchcraft. Wangu had captured all the places till now, but now he had to capture Talo as well. So he kept searching for the location of this place, and after many months of research, he came to know where he would find Talo. He set out toward the jungle with his men. To reach the magical place, they all had to cross a magical forest that would kill any person trying to go to Talo. That forest could create a maze by shaking its trees and could trap anyone. The forest attacks the villagers. They drive very fast to escape, and the jungle throws them down the mountain. But he uses his ring and comes out safely. After this, he keeps going inside the same jungle, and after walking a long distance, he reaches a place from where one could go inside the jungle. There he meets a woman named Hing, who could not let any outsider enter the jungle. When he moves toward the village, she stops him and starts fighting with him. He attacks her using the power of the rings, but Hing was easily stopping all of them because those villagers had different types of powers and were very skilled in martial arts. On top of that, Hing was one of the best fighters there. Now you must have come to know who is going to win this fight. She was defeating Viangan easily and was also controlling his powerful rings. He was not able to escape because those rings were not as powerful against her. Until now, no one had been able to defeat him, but Hing defeated him easily. However, instead of getting angry about it, they both started liking each other. Viangan started visiting the jungle a lot, and slowly, they both fell in love. Eventually, they decided to get married, but the people of Talo did not approve of this relationship. After getting married, Hing stayed in Talo, but the people of Talo knew that Viangan was a bad man who had killed many people, so they did not allow him to live inside Talo. Because of this, Hing left Talo and went to live with Viangan. But if she left Talo, she would lose all her powers. However, she wanted to live her life with Viangan, and they both got married. After getting married, Viangan completely changed. He stopped doing all the bad things and even stopped using his powerful rings. A few years later, a boy was born, and he named him Sanchi. He also had a daughter, whom he named Selling. He started living happily with his family, as if he had forgotten that before marriage, he was a man whom the whole world feared. But soon, the news spread that he had stopped using his rings and no longer had his powers. Because of this, Viangan made a lot of enemies, and they all wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. One day, while he was training his children, his enemies arrived when he was not home. The group, called the Iron Gang, wanted to kill him. Many gang members attacked his home, aiming to kill Viangan's family. He had no power, so he was unable to stand against them, and he was killed. When Viangan returned, he found Hing dead, along with the dead bodies of Iron Gang members, from which he understood what had happened. Viangan was heartbroken because a man's life was lost because of him. Losing faith in goodness, he took out his powerful rings and swore to take revenge. He went to his son, Sanchi, and asked him to identify the people responsible. Here, Sanchi and everyone else come to know that Mauritius knows how to reach the city by crossing the jungle. They decide that they will run away from there and reach the city before their father so they can warn them that a big attack is going to happen. Sanchi runs away with everyone and reaches the jungle. Morris tells them the way, and they follow it to get out of the jungle. Now they reach the city and meet a woman. She was Unlea's elder sister. She is very happy to see the military style and welcomes them. Fanky tells England that his father believes that they have held this finger because he hears the voices of his men. Here, England tells them the truth, which also includes the history of Talu City. England explains that many years ago, when the people of the gangs lived happily, a portal to another dimension opened. Many creatures started coming out, including his younger brother, named Darkness, who was very dangerous. These creatures absorbed human souls to feed. As they set out to attack the whole world, a massive dragon stopped them. The dragon, along with the villagers, defeated these creatures and sent them back to their dimension. The dragon then created a lion using his skin so that those creatures could not return. He also gave some of his powers to the villagers and provided his skin so they could craft powerful weapons. Since then, the people of Talu have been training hard so that if those creatures ever escape in the future, they can fight them. But the danger did not end there. Darkness, being a great manipulator of fear, lured powerful individuals to free him. However, anyone who reached the city was killed by the people of Talu City. Eventually, it discovered a creature that had the power of the 10 rings and could potentially release darkness. This is why the people of Thalassery continued training for war. Here she gives Thankyou and Shadley a weapon made from the dragon's hair, and they begin training in the city's special fighting techniques. 3 days pass, and the festival day arrives. Vang Bru and his men cross the forest and reach Taylor City. The villagers suspect that Van Bro is being deceived by a creature imitating his wife's voice to trap him. However, Viangan does not believe this and orders his men to attack. He himself heads toward the door. Sanji also goes to stop his father, and they engage in an intense fight. He had forgotten that Van Bru still possessed the power of the 10 rings, which he uses to strike Sanchi. Frankie, relying on his old techniques, struggles to land a proper hit. Van Bru delivers a powerful blow, sending Sanchi into the river. Meanwhile, Van reaches the door and begins breaking it with his powerful rings. After much effort, the door starts to crack, allowing small creatures to escape. However, Van ignores them and continues breaking the door. The creatures attack, and the people of the forest realize that ordinary weapons are ineffective. Only Thalassery weapons can kill these creatures. They unite with the people of Taro City and fight together. Sanchi, still drowning, is in grave danger, but then the dragon arrives, recognizing Sanchi and saving her. Frankie, determined to stop his father, remembers his training. This time, using the techniques he was taught, he fights more skillfully and competes fiercely. By utilizing the new fighting style, he begins controlling Sanjeev's punch rank. Now, both father and son have 5 rings each, and they continue fighting. Just as Frankie is about to kill his father, he throws the rings down and tries to reason with him one last time. Suddenly, the large door weakens, and a monstrous creature is freed. It is enormous and terrifying. Vangno realizes his mistake. This was all a trap set by the creature. He attempts to attack the creature and save Van Buzz, but the creature kills him. Van is captured, and his soul is absorbed. Before dying, Van passes his training to Thankyou so he can use his power. Now he sets out to attack the creatures. The dragon emerges from the water and battles the creature, striking it fiercely. However, the smaller creatures transfer their energy to their leader, making it even more powerful. The creature captures the dragon and begins absorbing its soul. If it succeeds, no one will be able to defeat it. At the last moment, another object is thrown into the creature's mouth, distracting it. The dragon takes this opportunity to break free and re-imprison the creature, but the seal is not strong enough. Absent G uses his powerful ring and strikes the creature in its mouth. Thankyou harnesses his power, delivering a final blast inside the creature's stomach, causing it to explode into pieces. Darkness is destroyed, and his body is torn apart. During the battle, many people of Taro City are killed, and they mourn the fallen. After everything is over, Kitty returns to America, and both of them start living happily. Then, a magician named V emerges from a portal and takes Sanju to the waste. She had gone there to dismantle her father's organization, but something unexpected happens. She becomes the leader instead. She recruits many women into her army, taking her father's place and leading them. And that is where our story ends. So viewers, how did you like this story? Please tell me in the comment section. If you like my explanation even 1%, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it motivates me to bring you more interesting stories. See you in the next video. Sanchi told him everything, and Viangan began attacking everyone. He killed all the gang members, but the gang leader was not there. So he decided that he would find the leader of the Iron Gang and have his son Sanchi kill him. After this, he re-established his army and started training Sanchi from the very beginning so that he would become capable of defeating his enemy. Seeing Sanchi fight, Selling was also inspired to learn martial arts. However, no girl was given training in their tradition, so she started practicing on her own. She watched the men train and learned their techniques, eventually becoming very skilled. Meanwhile, the leader of the Iron Gang learned that Sanchi was looking for him to kill him, so he went into hiding in a faraway place. The scene shifts to 2014, where Sanchi had grown up and completed his training. He had become so powerful that he could even defeat his masters. When he learned the gang leader's location, Vangan sent him to America to kill him. Sanchi went to America and successfully completed his mission. However, after the mission, he realized that he was doing wrong and had forgotten the values his mother had taught him, so he decided never to return to his grandfather and started living in San Francisco, hiding his identity. Selling kept waiting for her brother, but when he didn't return even after 6 years, she understood that he was never coming back, so she also left her grandfather, moved to China, and started living in the city of Mang, where she opened her own fighting club. Vangan knew where his children were and what they were doing. If he wanted, he could have forcibly brought them back, but he did not. According to him, his children should have the freedom to live as they wished. In 2024, Vangan suddenly started hearing a voice telling him that Hing had not died. He believed that the people of Talo had imprisoned her as revenge for marrying him, so he decided to save her. He began preparing his army to attack Talo, but the magical jungle was still a challenge for him and his men. He kept searching for a way to cross it until he learned that Hing had brought a magical stone from Talo. When placed on the dragon statues, it would create a path through the jungle. However, the stone was with his children. By this time, Sanchi had grown up, completed his studies, and have a small job. Vangan sent a postcard to Selling in Macau, telling her to return home with the stone. However, Sanchi ignored the postcard. When Vangan realized this, he sent his men to San Francisco to retrieve the stone. Sanchi was on a bus with his friend Katie when Vangan's men attacked, but they did not know that Sanchi had excellent fighting skills. He fought them off, but in the process, they destroyed the entire bus, and Vangan's men managed to steal the stone. One of them intentionally told Sanchi that they would also attack his sister. Hearing this, Sanchi decided to go to Macau. Katie also accompanied him. When he arrived at his sister's fighting club, she was furious at him for abandoning her for years. After her anger calmed, Sanchi showed her the postcard. However, she told him that she had never sent any postcard. Just then, Vangan's men attacked again. Sanchi and Selling fought together, but Vangan's men managed to take the stone. Vangan himself arrived and was overjoyed to see his children after so many years. So he decides that he will bring his children back home. After coming home, he tells them that he can hear and he is definitely alive. As Talo's people have imprisoned him, he is going there to save Talo. Here, he uses both those stones, puts them on the dragon's eyes, and makes a map to reach Talo. But that path used to open on a special festival day, which came once a year, and that festival was after 3 days. So he prepares his map. Rahi was feeling something wrong here, and he tells Bangkok that his man is dead, and she is not coming back. Due to this, Van gets very angry, attacks the sentry, imprisons Caddy, and locks her in a jail. The rest of them go to the jail, where they find a man whose name was Driver. He was the same man who had acted as the leader of 10 gangs years ago. When Van Book came to know about this, he sent his people to catch Driver and took him to his place. But Driver was very funny, so for this reason, he did not kill him and instead kept him in prison to entertain everyone. Driver Sanji and the rest of them meet a small animal that was very different. The name of the small animal was Morris, and the traveler had picked him up from the tallest city. Rajib's thought was that after staying with him for so long, Driver started talking to Morris and began understanding his language. When the patient comes to Sanchi and Shaley, he recognizes them because among them, there is a common language. That was the power found with the people of Taylor City.